So this part is on existing customers. And as I said, it's really important to keep your existing customers. Go ahead, Ben. And there are really a bunch of reasons why, but I'm going to give you the top 4 reasons to focus on your existing customers. Reason number 1 to focus on your existing customers. The cost of acquiring a new customer can cost 5 times more than retaining an existing customer. So I want you to think about that for a minute. Everyone has limited resources, limited marketing dollars, limited customer acquisition dollars. It really costs 5 times more to go out and get a new customer than it does to take care of an existing customer. So that should be incentive right there. There is a financial reward for you for taking care of your customers. Ultimately, they will buy more, they'll be happier, and they will stay with you. Okay, let's go on to number 2. Number 2 reason to focus on existing customers. And I think this is really amazing. Increasing customer retention by a mere 5% can increase profits by 25 to 95%. But if you think about it, these are loyal brand customers. They know your services, they know your products, they know your store, they know about you, they know your brand, they know your offerings, they know what you value, and they relate to that, and they're happy with that. So they are more likely to buy more from you once they're comfortable and happy with your brand. So all you have to do is increase customer retention by 5% and look at what it does to your profits. So again, a good reason to be focusing on those folks. All right, on to number 3. Number 3 reason to focus on existing customers is the success rate of selling to a customer you already have is 60 to 70%, while the success rate of selling to a new customer is 5 to 20%. And again, if you think about it, this makes sense. Your existing customer knows your brand, knows your products, they know about you, and they are willing to buy more from you. A new customer doesn't really understand your brand, hasn't really made that connection yet. So they could buy from you, they could buy from a competitor. There's nothing loyal about them at this point in time. So the idea of them generating 5 to 20% versus 60 to 70% makes a lot of sense. All right, last reason, number 4, to focus on existing customers. Current customers are 50% more likely to try new products and services that you may offer. And I think this is important. If you're a clothing store and you have a new line that you want to offer, if you have new services that you're offering that you didn't offer before, your current customers are much more likely to try new products and services that you offer, again, because they have that connection with you, they have that connection with the brand, and they trust you. So they're willing to try new products from you. All right, Ben. As you can see, your past customers are a huge asset to your business, especially in times like this, when I think customers may be harder to come by. So just really make sure that you value them. So relationships matter. And it's important to maintain a strong relationship with your past and existing clients so they stay loyal to your business. And ultimately, to do this, you really need to provide an amazing customer service, which means delivering on more than the basic customer expectation. The customer does business with you and they have a basic understanding of what they're going to get. If you can exceed that, you're going to deepen that relationship with that customer, and it's going to be harder for a competitor to steal them away. All right. So, but this is somewhat disconcerting. You know, when we look at where marketing dollars are spent, many small businesses spend most of their marketing dollars on finding new customers instead of nurturing the ones they already have. Now, it is important to go find new customers, and we will, there's a whole section on that, and we will be doing that, but not at the expense of keeping the customers that you have. So you really need to have a two-pronged approach. You need to keep those customers that are loyal and happy. You need to keep them loyal and happy. And new customers, you'll bring them through the chain and hopefully turn them into to loyal customers. But it doesn't do you any good to spend all of your money on acquiring new customers and ignoring your loyal customers, because ultimately you'll lose them. All right. So stay in touch. Finding ways of staying in touch with your current customer base. You can do newsletters. You can do email campaigns. You know, email marketing may seem like an outdated tool, but it remains a highly effective way to stay in front of your customers and to promote quality content, product information that you may have, discounts that you may want to put out there, or upcoming events. Email is also a great way of simply connecting with your audience. And it can be as simple as sending a happy birthday email card to one of your loyal customers, or valuable promotions email. So don't discount email just because it's been around. Used effectively, email campaigns and newsletters can be very effective. I really like the surveys and customer feedback. Our company does a lot of research, and I think so much of our communications in business is one way, that anytime we can get customer feedback or what the customer is thinking, it really helps inform our strategies and our decisions. So anytime that you can ask for customer feedback or get customer feedback, I think, and use that information, I think that's important. You can send them notifications, again, of upcoming events. And again, maybe have private customer events. Again, these loyal customers want to feel recognized. They want to feel like you know who they are, and that they are valued. So maybe just having an event for them, where not every Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street gets to come, makes them feel special. And also, it's important to reach out to customers that you haven't heard from in a while. I mean, people may have moved away, but they may have just fallen off the radar. I know for me, I was a pretty big shopper before this COVID thing hit, and many of the stores that I shopped in haven't seen me in a while. And it would be nice to hear from them that they miss me. You know, they've noticed that I haven't been around, that they, you know, will give me an opportunity to shop online, or they'll give me a discount code or something. But anyway, just recognizing that I've kind of haven't been on the radar for a while is important to bring me back into the fold and make me want to stay a loyal customer. All right, then. So also, when we talk about measurement, it's really important to track customer activity. And we've done a lot of this. Large companies, we've sourced and put in really expensive customer relationship management systems, and they're wonderful. They'll do everything that you want them to do and tell you about your customers and spreadsheets and all. That's not really going to be an answer for small businesses. But so what I would say is any method you have that helps you gather information on your customers is going to be a help to you. So is it your point of sale system? Um, is it a manual system? Whatever works for you. Just gathering information on your customers and how often they're buying, what they're buying. Are they willing to refer new customers to you? These are all really important things to track. And then ultimately, you want to use that information to create customer loyalty. And I think while we're talking about strategies, I think it's really a good idea to create a strategy for your best customers. Um, we will have a strategy for acquisition, but you have a loyal base of customers that your company would be hurting without them. So it's really, I think, incumbent upon us to really look at how we can create a strategy that will keep them happy and keep them coming back. Problem solving. Problem solving is part of keeping customers happy. And generally, when people have a problem, they call into customer service. And phone calls really are still the primary channel for this customer communication. 68% of customers contact customer service by phone. So it's really important to handle problems on the first call if possible. And I'll tell you, there's a company that I hate doing business with. I have to do business with it. It's my internet and cable company, and I have no choice about it. And I call them all the time because their service is horrible. They cut out on me. They kick me off of Zoom calls. It's not the kind of customer service. It's not the kind of service that I really am looking for. When I'm paying this much money, I really want reliable customer service. And I have never, ever once called this company and had my problem resolved on the first call. Now, wouldn't it be lovely if I did? Generally, the first call, I'm stuck in a robo situation and they're rebooting things for me automatically. And then I have to call back and then it's usually a 3 or 4 or 5 call on my part to resolve the issue. And that's just not great customer service. So again, if you can handle the problem on the first call or take a number and say, I'm gonna research this and I'm gonna call you right back, that is ideal. All right, then. So guidelines for dealing with customer problems, whether this is you, whether you have a team of people doing this, whoever it is, they really need to be trained on dealing with sometimes angry customers. So when talking to a disgruntled or angry client, your job is really to diffuse the situation. You want to make it okay for them. You want all their anger to just dissipate. So really, don't be judgmental. Try not to interrupt. You can ask direct questions, which will get you to direct answers. And try not to talk too much. You may think you have the answer, but you haven't heard from the customer yet. You haven't heard what their problem is. You haven't heard what their issue is yet. So let them get it out. And if you're talking too much, they can't talk. So make your goal to be that the customer tells you what the problem is and how you can help. Don't ask another question before the first one has been answered. That's just good policy. Be a good listener, be empathetic, be human, and try not to argue with the customer. All right, and when problems are not solved, this becomes an issue for your business because an unhappy customer will tell between 9 and 15 people about their negative experience. just think how many, if I had named the company that you probably know who it is, that I just told about my negative experience. And 13% will tell over 20 people. I would say they have a lot of time on their hands, but maybe they don't. I don't know. But they're telling a lot of people about the problem they had with your company. And you don't need that sort of negative PR. 82% of people have stopped doing business with a company because of poor customer service. And think back, is there a company that you used to do business with that you don't anymore just because of poor customer service? I'm sure there is. It's really a critical part of keeping customers happy, and many companies don't do it right. And 53% of customers have switched companies because they felt unappreciated. And we'll go back to this again and again and again, but the loyal customers want to feel appreciated. They want to feel recognized. They want to know that you know who they are. I'll give you another example. A few years ago, I applied for a travel credit card, and it was fairly expensive, but I figured the benefits, because I was traveling a lot at that point in time, far outweighed the price that I was paying. And I got the credit card and it worked fine for me. And I liked all the benefits that I was getting. And every month in my mailbox, I got a solicitation letter from that same credit card company asking me if I wanted to sign up for their credit card, which I already had. And I'll tell you, that made me feel like they didn't even know that I had made this big leap to join their credit card family and pay the big bucks. But I really didn't appreciate the fact that they didn't know, or didn't appear to know, that I already was a loyal customer and they were trying to get me to sign up for their services. All right. So problem solving is really one of the keys to building customer loyalty. And this to me is amazing. And I'm going to say this more than once. Customers who had their problem resolved are happier with your company than if they had not had a problem at all. And I'm going to say that again because I think this is a little counterintuitive. A customer of yours who encounters a problem and you solve it for them, they are so much happier with you than if they had never had a problem at all. Go figure. So maybe make problems and solve them. No, don't do that. But anyway, I think this is just really speaks to the fact that you were perceived as going out of your way to solve the problem for them, and they are happier with that outcome. All right. All right. Well, thank you for watching this segment. Any questions yet?
I do see some in the Q&A, but I can't look at it while the screen's sharing, so I'm going to stop the share for a moment here.
Okay.
Okay, so first question here. It's sort of a question, but very convincing information. Sounds like a good reason to get testimonials from existing customers to then go and try to expand your market share by proposing your services to their competitors. So that sounds like a very appropriate statement there. This next one here, is there anything you need to do differently to steal back, in quotations, customers that competitors have attracted away from you? Anything that worked particularly well for those purposes?
Well, I think it depends on why they left. I mean, if it was an unresolved problem, you know, that you maybe can go back and revisit. Is your competitor offering better prices, better services, better you know, delivery? So maybe again, look at what your customer is offering, but I think you always have a chance to steal back a customer. And again, you do it by exceptional customer service, not just regular customer service. You need to have exceptional customer service, and you need to go above and beyond. And again, solve people's problems.
And then our last question at this point is, when you discuss quote unquote best customers, does that mean frequent buyers or buyers of bigger ticket items or services, or maybe both?
It can be either. So it depends on what you're selling. If you're, again, a small clothing shop, maybe it's people buying the more high-end clothes. But I think it's more frequency. How recency. How recent have they been in? How frequently are they buying? These are all things that you can really tell if a customer is where they are on that kind of loyalty scale. So yeah, I think it can be either or, and it's up to you to define. Do you want really people just buying high end things, or do you want people who come a lot, who buy more the middle of the road kind of things? So that's up to you to define. But I think it's people who are using your products and services more often than not.
Great. And then there's a little bit of a follow-up on that one. Do you think that there's potential value in segmenting them by frequency of purchase or larger value orders?
I do. I actually think anytime you can segment your customers, you can kind of treat them a little differently. It depends on, your strategy. But again, for those people who aren't coming in often but are buying pretty high ticket items, you might have a totally different strategy for them, and all you need is for them to come once a year and buy that big ticket item, as opposed to somebody coming often and buying again just your regular merchandise.